Today we have a game against struggling in the league Bayern Munich and Manchester City in the Champions League. Hello and welcome to Around the World in 80 Clubs. Since you were last with me, we went on to beat Kaiserslautern 5-0 with Müller, Okmaar, Kruder getting a brace and Brennan on the score sheet. Before then facing Wolfsburg and winning 5-3 with Salami, an own goal, Silvio, Jose and Müller on the score sheet there, which leaves us today as we go head to head with Bayern Munich, who are currently 11th in the Bundesliga. And I haven't done the team. Well, I did do the team, but Milokovic is injured, so we bring Alvarez on there. Lanes can come on the bench, as can Di Giorgio. Shall I play? So for the team for the match today, we have Jacobs in goal with Dango, Deli and Schmidt at the back. Alvarez, Okmaar, Brennan and Salami in midfield, with Jose and Mola behind ter Stegen up top. So it's a slightly rotated team I went for, because obviously I want to keep as many people fit as possible for the game against Manchester City, but I still want to keep this team strong, because although Bayern Munich are down in 11th and supposedly struggling, they are still Bayern Munich and can still do that, as Shapkin puts them 1-0 up. I think Bayern Munich have just got a new manager now, because they actually offered me an interview, which I declined. As expected, they sacked the manager. So, offered me an interview. I said no, thank you, because we've already said Stuttgart will be our last club in this save. So, but here is Shotkin, and we managed to get it clear, but not all the way. And we are struggling a little bit against Bayern Munich here. Fingers crossed we don't end up completely losing. So, FIFA, newsflash, FIFA's rigged. I know that comes as a shock to everybody watching this video, but just to have Saudi Arabia as an uncontested bid for the World Cup in, is it 2036, is a joke. I honestly can't even fathom where the idea comes from to let that happen. Obviously, I know it's money, but how can a federation be that corrupt, is my thinking, It's been in the works for a few years, hence, they've given it to Europe, Africa, like in 2030, the World Cup's in Spain and a couple of African countries, isn't it? But the first three games, because it's the 100th World Cup, are in Uruguay and a couple of other South Africa, Chile and Peru, I think. Paraguay, maybe not Peru, maybe Paraguay. I can't remember the exact things. But so therefore, South America can't host it. North America are hosting the next World Cup, so no one in North America can host it. No one in Europe can host it because Spain are part of the 2030 World Cup, 2032 World Cup, and neither can Africa because they're part of it, which leaves Asia and which leaves sort of Asia. So Saudi Arabia are obviously bidding. China, the likes of Japan, they hosted it fairly recently with South Korea, so they won't have a bid, I wouldn't have thought. Australia, I don't think Australian football, but they call it soccer, I think, is at a level of being able to host it. The only country that realistically, well, there isn't a country realistically to challenge them, and it's a pretty crap look, in my view, from FIFA. I think they should have done a lot more. I don't think it should, if they're gonna have multiple, Muller's equalised, get in there, Muller. If they're going to have multiple regions bidding and multiple countries for the World Cup and multiple regions for the World Cups, then they need to drop the you can't host it for 2 years, like that region or that federation can't host it for 2 years because CONCACAF are ruled out because they're hosting the next one with America. And then it's like every other federation then loses as well because of the way that FIFA have decided, basically they've got it to a point where they are forced the only team in it as being Saudi Arabia because they want the sweet, sweet money because that's what matters to FIFA. It's not about the sport, and it's all about how much can these chief executives make, unfortunately, which is sickening. But here is Bayern Munich trying to get a winner, but unable to put one on target. But yeah, I know it's a big shocking news thing but it's not, is it? FIFA have been corrupt for years, and like reading the paper and seeing that looks like Saudi Arabia are going to be the only bidders really didn't surprise me in the slightest. But yes, there's football tonight, Champions League plus the Championship. Ipswich take on Bristol City. So I would like to hope that we get a big win there. So, join me for the game against Man City in a second. So here we are before the game against Manchester City, and the team to play them is Jacobs in goal, Schmidt, Valverde and Dele at the back, Melikov, Okmar, Brennan and Olnek in midfield, with Jose and Muller behind ter Stegen up top. It's going to be an interesting one, this one, as we obviously have fond memories of Manchester City, where we built an amazing team. And here is Bertels to Yemel. Yemel plays it back to Skat, to Erkan. Erkan to Malcolm. Malcolm now tries to play it across, but Dele intercepts, plays it to... It's headed forward. Here's Tevez to Yemel, back to Tevez, to Malcolm, to Mustard, and Mustard's put the ball in the back of the net, but it's offside. Surely. The referee puts his finger in his ear, and the goal is disallowed. He looked offside to me. The linesman had raised his flag. And this game, it's against Manchester. They're currently 14th. So, it's... If we can finish in the top 8, that will be brilliant. And a win here would surely help us solidify the top 8 finish. A draw, I don't think, will quite be enough to keep us in the top 8, but a draw would put us in good stead, I believe, away at Manchester City. We are going to drop some encouragement. Come on, boys. If you can do anything before the end of the first half. Erkan plays it forward. Dele kicks it out though. And here's Serkart. Serkart towards Malcolm, but Jacobs gathers comfortably. Jacobs with a kick downfield, only as far as Bertels. Van Dong plays it back to Erkan. Erkan to Fortunato. Fortunato plays it out to Yamel, to Mustard, who's offside again. Yes. It annoys me when VAR stops for ones that have already been flagged. But in the at the end of the first half, it looks like we've not really done much. So I'm going to tell them to pick things up in the second half. Is Valverde. Plays it back to Dele. Dele tries to play Okmar in, but it's a wayward pass. And now Mustard on the ball. Mustard pull it back. He does to Van Dong. And then it drops to Mitrovic, who puts the ball in the back of the net to make it Manchester City 1, Stuttgart 0. Wowzers. Here's Dele. Plays it to Onyek. Schmidt. Finds a ball over to Melikov. Melikov tries to get it across again. Can't get it into the middle. This really is not the best we've played. I'm now going to demand more after this highlight. It's ter Stegen. Can he find a ball in? Nobody comes inside. But then the keeper left with a comfortable save. And at 60 minutes, we're going to look to make some changes. Lanes is going to come on for Muller. Luis Alberto for ter Stegen. Okay, we're doing Lanes for Melikova and moving Muller out to the left. And then Salami for Onyak. No, Salami for Okmar. And Onyak goes into the middle. Let's hope that makes a little bit of a difference here. We are going to demand more. The players just aren't playing very well. And it's showing. Really is. But here's Lanes with a corner. Can we get something from this game? Jose, is he fouled? Ref. 2 possible penalty shouts, neither of which are looked at by the ref. Valverde plays it back to Jacobs, to Dele to Salami. Salami tries to find Onyak and unable to. Now Erkant, Fortunato, Silva. Plays it to Tevez. Pumps the ball forward. Valverde's going to get there first though. To Brennan. Brennan gives it to Tevez and Manzano, and then Malcolm. Malcolm puts it into the top corner to make it 2-0 to Manchester City. And it's not the result we were after, really. But here is Salami. Plays it towards Onyak. They should have swapped over. For some reason they haven't. I had them like that. Salami plays it into Muller. To Brennan. Brennan through to Luis Alberto, who puts the ball in the back of the net to make it 2-1 and give us an opportunity of pulling us back. Let's see if we can get something now. Looks like we're going to have one more chance with Dele to Onyak. Brennan unable to get his head on the ball. And here come Manchester City on the break with Malcolm. Can Malcolm find a ball in as he runs over towards the corner spot, but tries to sweep one in, and it's only as far as Jacobs. What can Jacobs do with it now? Takes a long punt forward. And it's fallen to Manzo. Van Dong. Schmidt now pumps it up there. Unable to get a red shirt onto it though. And it's Malcolm. Plays it to Manzo. No. And Manzano brings Manchester City's gap back to 2. And unfortunately spells the end. Luis Jose has had a terrible game, and I will be criticising that one. So for the next episode, I think we will come back for probably the next part of, if we get to the playoff game, we'll play that next. Otherwise it'll be Dortmund in the next round. So we'll come back some point around here. Hopefully we'll have made some changes by then as well. I haven't managed to get rid of or sign anybody yet, as we're in January. But if you've enjoyed that, please leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. I've been the Masked Manager. Until next time, I have spoken.